3 seconds is all it takes, and I want to show you exactly why. Before the first cast of every session, I dip my bait into a small jar that I keep in the side pocket of my tackle bag on every trip. 3 seconds in the liquid, pull it out, and cast. The response on that first cast is different from anything that comes from a dry bait hitting the water without that preparation. I have been doing this consistently enough across different water, different species, different seasons, and different conditions that I stopped treating it as a variable and started treating it as a standard. A woman named Lena Birch has been running a private fishing operation on a stocked pond in Tennessee for 22 years. She charges a daily access fee, provides rods and basic tackle, and maintains a waiting list because the catch rates on her water are consistently higher than anything within 30 miles of the property. Anglers who fish her pond report results they cannot reproduce on nearby public water with the same equipment and the same technique. Some of them have tried to figure out what she is doing differently by watching her move between the stations along the bank. Most of them assume it is the stocking density or the feeding schedule. It is neither of those things, as it turns out to be. I visited during an open session 2 years ago and watched her work, giving tips to the anglers stationed along the shoreline. At every station, she reached into the small canvas bag she carried, pulled out a jar, and told each angler to dip their bait for 3 seconds. I watched the results from a position about halfway down the bank. The difference was noticeable within the first few casts at each station. Anglers who had been going 20 and 30 minutes without a hit were getting responses within 2 to 3 casts of the dip. I asked Lena what was in the jar at the end of the morning. She held it up, tilted it so I could see the label, and said she had been using it on every pond she had ever managed. She handed me the jar and let me look at it for a moment. Then she said the bait shop on Route 9 had not seen her in 11 years. The jar was a standard grocery store jar of pickle juice, not pickles, just the brine drained out after the pickles are gone. The part most people discard without a second thought. $1 at any grocery store when you buy a standard jar of pickles, or free if you already eat pickles and would have thrown away the liquid. Lena said she found it by accident 22 years ago, when she ran out of her usual attractant halfway through a stocking session and grabbed the only liquid she had available in her cooler. She said the fish responded so strongly and so immediately that she drove to 3 grocery stores that afternoon to buy enough brine to last through the rest of the season. She has not purchased a commercial attractant since. Now here is what is actually happening inside that jar and why 3 compounds in that brine produce a trigger that a $20 commercial bottle cannot replicate. Pickle brine contains 3 primary chemical components: acetic acid from the vinegar base, dissolved sodium chloride from the salt, and terpene compounds released by the dill and spices during pickling. Each one produces a separate and distinct chemical signal in the water. Acetic acid creates a pH gradient around your bait from the first second of contact between the brine-coated surface and the surrounding water. Largemouth and catfish detect pH variation through their lateral line system. A pH gradient at the concentration that acetic acid produces reads to the fish's sensory system as organic material decomposing nearby, which the fish associates with organic food sources in the surrounding water. Dissolved salt in the brine creates a slight electrical conductivity difference in the thin layer of water immediately surrounding the bait. That conductivity difference is detectable by the lateral line as a signal distinct from the ambient water chemistry. The fish's nervous system associates that kind of local water chemistry shift with another animal nearby because animals create exactly that kind of shift through their own body chemistry in the water around them. The Dill terpenes, specifically limonene and alpha-pinene, release from the brine-coated surface and dissolve into the surrounding water. Those compounds match the terpene profile of a stressed crustacean well enough that fish conditioned to hunt crayfish in freshwater respond to them the same way they respond to the real signal. Before I get to the exact application and the variations, scan the QR code in the top left corner of your screen, or click the first link waiting in the description below. The Forbidden Baits add-on inside the Angler's Vault has 10 legal recipes, methods that cost almost nothing and produce consistent results. Stay here, because the application detail and the variation for catfish are what turn this from useful to something Lena calls her unfair advantage. The application works on any bait you're already using: worm, minnow, cut bait, dough ball, soft plastic, tube jig. The compound transfer happens regardless of bait type because the brine coats the exterior surface of whatever you dip. Pour a small amount of pickle juice into a wide-mouth container, something shallow enough that you can dip the bait completely in one motion. A short 4-ounce jar or a small resealable container works well. Hold the bait by the line above the hook, not by the bait itself, and lower it into the brine for exactly 3 seconds. 3 seconds is long enough for the acetic acid and salt to coat the full exterior surface of the bait completely. More than 5 seconds begins to affect the texture of softer natural baits by drawing moisture out of them through the osmotic effect of the salt. For soft plastics and artificial baits, duration is less critical because there is no internal moisture to draw out of the material. For any natural bait, 3 seconds is the consistent target. Cast immediately after the dip before the surface brine evaporates. The 3 seconds of open-air exposure between the dip and the cast is acceptable and does not reduce the effectiveness of the application. The brine needs to be on the surface of the bait when it enters the water, not in the air above the water, waiting for the cast to begin. Reapply before every cast for maximum effectiveness. If you are in a fast-moving session and reapplying every cast feels disruptive, every 2 or 3 casts is the minimum interval for consistent results. The effective window of a single dip in moving water is approximately 2 casts before the acetic acid disperses fully and the brine concentration on the bait surface drops below the detection threshold for most species. In still water, the effective window is slightly longer, closer to 3 to 4 casts before a fresh dip is needed. Now, the variations worth knowing for specific target species. For catfish, add 1 tablespoon of garlic powder to your brine container. The garlic allicin compound alongside the acetic acid, salt, and dill terpenes gives catfish 4 simultaneous chemical signals instead of 3. Catfish are particularly responsive to multi-compound triggers because catfish carry the widest sensory coverage of any freshwater species. Taste receptors across the entire body surface, whiskers, and lateral line, all of them processing chemical information at the same time. A 4-compound trigger produces a faster and more aggressive response than any single compound attractant at any concentration. For carp, add 1 teaspoon of sugar to the brine before dipping. Carp are highly sensitive to dissolved carbohydrate compounds in the water and investigate sweet profiles with a consistency that most anglers never use. The sugar does not overpower the brine signal. It adds a secondary layer that holds carp in the investigation zone for longer after initial approach. For cold water below 55 degrees Fahrenheit, add a pinch of cayenne. The active compound in cayenne triggers a reactive response in fish when metabolism is slowed and standard feeding approach behavior is reduced. In cold conditions, the cayenne addition can be the difference between a fish that circles without committing and one that strikes immediately. For crappie and bluegill, the plain brine at standard application works well. Both species have high lateral line sensitivity and respond to the acetic acid and salt gradient without needing the garlic or cayenne additions. The dill terpene component is particularly effective for crappie, which forage heavily on small invertebrates and respond to the terpene profile of a stressed invertebrate at concentrations below what larger predators need. for crappie holding in suspension, dip the bait and allow a brief fall before beginning the retrieve, so the brine disperses into the column at the depth where the crappie are already holding. Bait shops that depend on repeat attractant purchases at $20 a trip have no financial interest in you knowing that a $1 jar of pickle brine performs at the same level as what they carry on the shelf. The commercial attractant market is built on the premise that active compounds in a premium product are proprietary and unavailable elsewhere. Acetic acid, dissolved sodium chloride, and Dill terpenes are not proprietary. They are common food-grade compounds that have been in household kitchens for as long as pickling has existed as a food preservation method. The fact that they match the chemical signature of stressed freshwater prey is not something any bait manufacturer discovered or invented. It is something fish biology has been responding to for far longer than any commercial product line has ever existed. Lena Birch figured that out 22 years ago in an accidental moment when her usual attractant ran out and her cooler had a jar of pickles. She has never needed to visit a bait shop since that afternoon. If you want 10 more methods at this same cost level, the Forbidden Baits add-on inside the Angler's Vault has the complete list. Catfish killer dough, ivory soap trick, bacon grease dip, and 7 more. Scan the QR code in the top left corner of your screen or click the first link waiting in the description below. The complete system is waiting for you inside the Angler's Vault.